Today, I'm going to show you that you can make 1 year supply of luxury handmade soap with less than $40. And you heard me right. This is not a cheap soap. This is a luxury handmade soap. So let's look at the measurements. A standard soap bar weighs around 120 grams and will last you around 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how much you use. If you use it lightly, it will last you 4 weeks. If you use it heavily, meaning you shower every single day and you use it on your body and you also wash your hands with it, then it will probably last around 2 weeks. For our calculations, we will assume average usage of 3 weeks. 3 weeks is around 18 bars per year. So 18 bars per year, that's how much we need to produce, 18 bars. Let me show you how much this costs to make. So for the recipe, we will make a luxury formulation. So first of all, we will use olive oil. I'm clicking add. I will use coconut oil, which will add cleanliness to our lather. I will use beef tallow and then I will use castor oil. I will assume, by the way, that beef tallow we buy it already grass-fed and rendered, which costs way more money than buying it raw and render it yourself. But for the sake of this, I will assume that we buy it actually rendered, and you will still see that it's under $40 total. Olive oil, we'll go ahead and add 24% of olive oil. Coconut oil, will go ahead and add 15%, which will add cleanliness and bubbles to our lather. Beef tallow, will go ahead and take it to 55%. It's high in stearic, palmitic and oleic acid, and it's what adds hardness, structure, and gives creaminess to our lather. So it's a very unique ingredient. If you don't want to use beef tallow, you can also use shea butter or cocoa butter. Then castor oil, we will add 6% of that, and castor oil is high in ricinoleic acid and it's what adds thickness and richness to your lather. Fantastic. Let's see the recipe analysis. So when we look at the recipe analysis, we see that it has a low dreaded orange spot risk because it's very low in linoleic acid concentration, so it's a very stable formula. It has good hardness, balanced cleansing, so it's not going to be very stripping. It can even be used for people who have slightly sensitive or dry skin. That will still be a very good bar to use because it's not very cleansing. Very cleansing bars have 30% coconut oil concentration. This is down to 15, so it's quite balanced. It's conditioning, and overall it has a really good creamy and bubbly lather. Creamy because of the high concentration of beef tallow, bubbly because of coconut oil. It's also conditioning because of olive oil, and then we have 6% castor oil, which basically adds this richness to the lather. And by the way, I put together a free PDF that contains the 7 ingredients that you need to make many different skincare products. This is to show you that you don't need 100 different ingredients to make soap, to make skincare, and I show you with 7 ingredients you can make a lot of different things, from deodorant, lip balm, shaving soap, dish soap, body soap, sensitive skin soap, and so on. If you want this, comment I want the formulation and I will send to you as soon as I see your comment. And then we go to scent blend recipe. And here what we want to do is that we want to build something long lasting. So as a top note, I'm gonna use bergamot, but bergamot is a very light top note. It evaporates fast. So what we need to do, since bergamot evaporates really fast, is that we need to use a bit of patchouli essential oil, which is a base note. Patchouli essential oil is very heavy, it's very long lasting, and not only that, it also makes all the other scents in your soap more long lasting. So we're gonna blend patchouli and bergamot to basically make our soap more long lasting. As a hard note, we're gonna add lavender, an amazing ingredient that blends very well with everything basically. At 40%, basically lavender is gonna be an amazing bridge between patchouli and bergamot. It has slightly higher molecular weight than bergamot, so it lasts a bit longer. So all in all together, this is a very balanced essential oil blend that has really good anchoring. It doesn't have any trace acceleration risk, We don't use any essential oils that accelerate trace. So overall, it's a very safe essential oil blend to use. And we're gonna go ahead and use 35 grams of essential oil blend per 1,000 grams of oils. Let's go ahead with the cost analysis. So here we will basically use 2,000 grams of oils, and that will lead to 18 bars, which is exactly how much we need to have enough soap for a year. Now let's do the calculations here. We're gonna add the prices, and you're gonna tell me, but Perry, how do I know the price? So you're teaching soap making and people are watching you from all over the world. How do you know the price of my country? I'm using an approximation here. I know that in some countries olive oil is very cheap. In other countries olive oil is very expensive. In some countries coconut oil is very cheap. In other countries coconut oil is very expensive. So it's very, very dependent on country, but I'm just going to use an approximation here for this example, and then you can adjust the prices based on your own supply. So olive oil here is basically around $5.2 per lb. Then coconut oil is around $5.99. Beef tallow, believe it or not, at least from my supplier, is around $6 per lb because I buy it already rendered, which is quite expensive. It's more expensive than olive oil basically, but as I said, you can also buy that. This can also be zero if you render it yourself. And castor oil, this is $6.99 per lb. Sodium hydroxide, this is gonna be around $3.5 per lb. Then we have bergamot essential oil, and bergamot essential oil is around $23 per 100 grams. Patchouli essential oil is around $28 per 100 grams. Then lavender essential oil is around $12 per 100 grams. So in the colorant here, we could add $2, for example, if you add certain colorants. And on the packaging, we're not going to use any packaging, so that's going to be $0. So as you can see, you have a complete soap making recipe with luxury oils, olive oil, coconut oil, beef tallow, castor oil. The four together lead to an amazing bar that is balanced. It's creamy, it's conditioning, it's cleansing, it's thick. And then we use essential oils. You could also use fragrance oils, which are way cheaper, but I decided to keep it natural. Let's only choose essential oils here. High quality essential oils, a total of 35 grams, a long lasting blend because it's anchored with patchouli essential oil. We add a bit of colorants, whether you add micas or certain clays or whatever. And then that takes us up to $37 for 18 bars. And the cost per bar is around $2. Here it says also suggested retail price, which is basically 3 times the cost of 1 bar. And here it also shows you what makes up the cost of each bar. So it shows you that the main driving cost is of course the oils. This is how you make soap for a whole year with under $40. And I believe you can make this even cheaper if you render the beef tallow yourself. If you don't add essential oils, if you don't like essential oils because they might cause sensitivity to your skin, you can remove them completely and the cost drops significantly, meaning that you can make soap for a year. I also want to address something else. A lot of soap makers might see this recipe and say, wait, this is a very simple recipe. What about some more luxury oils like avocado oil, argan oil, macadamia oil? These are much more luxury than olive oil. I would say that's not true. So avocado oil, argan oil, and macadamia oil don't add any extra value compared to olive oil in soap. And that's because basically they have the same fatty acid composition, high in oleic acid and low in linoleic acid, but at the same time, all the nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants that exist in avocado oil, for example, that do not exist in olive oil, they get degraded in the high temperature and high pH environment of saponification. So in the end, you don't get any extra value. So olive oil is the best conditioning oil you can use. And the soap hub that I showed you here and the cost analysis tool that I showed you here is available exclusively inside my upcoming course, which is Clean Up Your Life, the Formulators method. It opens April 29th and waitlist members get it at a price 50% off for the first 5 days. So you can click the link in my bio to join the waitlist. Thank you so much for watching all the way to here. I really appreciate you guys. I hope this video could add some value to you and prove to you that you can make soap for a whole year with under $40. I'm very excited to hear your comments on this, and I'll see you guys next time.